Oh yes, in case you haven't noticed, we're back in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. But we're far from Copacabana this time, all the way to the western end. Why? I kind of had to. I'll tell you all about it.
This is a bitter pill to swallow, but yeah, Brazil isn't particularly cheap for tourists anymore. And Rio de Janeiro, don't even talk about it. In this first of 7 daily videos, I'm gonna share my main tip to keep your wallet alive here in Rio. And there's gonna be a caipirinha or two as well.
Yes, you heard it. 7 videos in 7 days. This is gonna get me killed. First, what do we do here? So, how did I end up in Recreio, more than 1 hour outside of town? Honest truth, I came to Rio kind of unplanned and simply couldn't afford to stay in the tourist zone. You see, Rio has never been a city for spontaneous visits. The hotel market is a bit dysfunctional with extreme price fluctuations. In other words, you need to plan ahead. If you're booking with just a few days notice and want to stay in the tourist zone, this is what the Airbnb situation will look like for an apartment. Let's say your limit is $150 a night. Well, bad news. Booking just a few days ahead, you'll probably not find a single one in the whole of Copacabana, Ipanema, Leme or Leblon. Most available apartments at this moment will most likely start at $250 or more. That's a lot. Trying to find normal hotel rooms won't help much either. Without planning, you'll be lucky to find a 3-star room under $150 a night in the tourist zone. If you plan some weeks ahead, you can get the same accommodation for half the price. Part of the explanation, Brazilian economy has done better lately. A year back, 1 Brazilian real was equal to 0.184 US dollars. Today, it's about 15% more expensive to be American. And due to Russia's war against Ukraine, it sucks to be European, especially Swedish. In just 2 years, Brazil has become 40% more expensive to visit. Solution: look for accommodation west of the tourist zone. Posh and safe Barra da Tijuca is about 40 minutes away, and following the string of awesome beaches another half hour, you'll end up here in Recreio, where I got this cozy 2-room apartment for just under $35 a night, more than 3 times less than anything I could find in Ipanema, Copacabana or Leme. Let's have a look at this luxury suite. No, okay, it's pretty basic. And that's a very small TV. But with a real kitchen, you can cook your own meals. I'd say this is some pretty solid value for money. Anyone who's been to Rio knows the standard of Airbnbs is pretty low. Hot water, AC, and this level of comfort would cost a lot in town. Oh, they even got this little gift basket of towels.
This is not the biggest town. Doesn't really feel like I'm in Rio at the moment.
No, more like a small island town.
So, one reason people choose to stay in Ipanema or Copacabana is because they want to be close to the beach, right? But how about paying 1/3 of that price and live next to some of Rio's absolutely best beaches?
Yes, cause you see, that is what the West is all about. If I wasn't already familiar with what's out here, this beach would have totally blown me away. I mean, it's absolutely gorgeous and huge. But just wait and see what more awaits in Western Rio. First of all, we obviously have the main beach of Recreio, which goes on forever. And just next to Recreio, we find this absolute gem, small but deadly tasty Praia. And neighboring Barra da Tijuca, well, they got one of the most celebrated beaches in Rio. A little closer to the city is Praia São Conrado, which is brilliant. And all the way to the west, Praia de Grumari, voted best beach in Rio. You can be alone here. And the same goes for our home beach.
Yeah, it's definitely a bit more quiet over here. Loving the calm.
Well, how about quality of the water then? I'll give you a little sample.
But I am not trusting these waves here. I finally learned my lesson. I'm leaving phone and sunglasses.
Yeah, that lesson hurts. You can watch it here.
Yeah, you just gonna have to trust me. That was a very good swim.
But as much as I love swimming in water, there's one liquid I'd rather swim in. And it's best served in a beach bar.
Let's have that caipirinha. Ótimo. Ótimo. So, some people might argue it's still worth it sticking to the tourist zones because it's convenient, it's close to everything you want to do, and it's fairly safe. And I agree, sure, if you're only staying in Rio for a few days. But if you're staying for longer, you will want to explore all those beautiful beaches, right? And the truth is, almost all of them are out here on the west side of town. So not only will you be paying less to experience these sandy miracles, you will also be spending less time stuck in traffic.
Hold on a second, I want to tell you something. Ever since I hosted a few gringo tours back in the days, people have asked me to do more. And now it's happening. During Carnival, me and Sam will host a 5-day-long intensive program, Rio Rampage, where you will learn to develop your social skills while having the time of your life.
Let's go.
I dare to say this will be the best carnival you had. So, who's Sam? He's British and a professional dating coach.
Clear goals equals success in a given discipline.
He's also been living in Rio for years, helping awkward foreigners to talk to Brazilian girls. And now he's gonna do the same for us. Personal coaching, wild carnival fun, and private house party. This will be crazy. Okay, back to reality again. The West has one selling point we haven't really mentioned yet: safety.
So why not check into an apartment in the central part of town where prices are lower? Well, some people choose to do that, but I just can't. Safety is on a whole other level there, and I would frankly not sleep as good at night. And staying west of the city either means you're staying in Barra da Tijuca or that you're close to it. And Barra da Tijuca has the best and safest nightclubs in town.
Seriously, don't miss Barra for your weekend party.
And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying you should stay outside of town the whole time. Just try to match it with those days when it's most expensive staying in the tourist zone and get to experience all the amazing stuff that's outside of Copacabana and Ipanema.
Let's leave the beach for a second, cause apart from the awesome nature and cheaper safe accommodation, Recreio has another upside compared to the tourist zone: less expensive food.
$6. What I would have paid next to the beach in Copacabana? Easily the double.
My favorite restaurants.
But I'm not saying there's no downside to staying 1 hour outside of town. It's kind of hard buying food. So perhaps do some groceries before you come here and stay for a few days.
Yeah, not really any Walmarts over here.
Let's just put it like this. I've had frozen lasagna for a few days now.
And while looking for the store, I kind of just wandered into this store. Not having any idea I was just crashing a private party of the more personal kind. I never really understood what the heck was going on here, apart from the obvious fact that the host of the party clearly enjoys playing cards and wasn't completely sober. That's so typical Brazil. You're welcomed with open arms even though you have no business being there.
That was one unexpected party I was not really invited to. I love walking into the wrong door. In Brazil, funny things always happen when you walk into the wrong door. That was a weird party.
And just like pretty much everywhere in Brazil, the sunset is a big deal in Recreio. People gather on the beach to greet it, or in all honesty, perhaps more to have an excuse for another cold beer.
Wow, what a beach this is! Incredible.
Another thing that has struck me, The sunsets last significantly longer in Rio than in northern Brazil. The light goes through all phases of yellow and red, until finally fading into bluish pink. And that's when you realize you still haven't had dinner, and that the limited options means you probably have to stick to your diet and enjoy another pasta night.
I guess we'll go with lasagna today as well. I guess that concludes our business for today. See you again tomorrow for a little secret adventure.
Oh yeah, I'm so excited for that one. I'm finally going to visit a place in Rio that's been on my list a long time. If you liked the video, please subscribe and support the channel. Thanks for watching and be safe.